Man, I can't believe I'm regretting not watching more isekai anime. How the heck do I get back to the real world? Oh.
Do not insult my gift to you, Tim. Do not do it, Tim.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it to your face.
What?
Oh yeah, I said it. You heard it.
How are you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm building my inventory for Retro X, which is
Right,
in
you
June.
got that coming. What, June? Yeah, right.
Yep, and then I already have old inventory for the free comic book day in Boise at Captain Comics. So, I have the power.
Talking about what is it called? Comics, toys, and stuff. There's this new channel that's set up, very small. Very small at the moment, and we always got to promote the small guys, right? Got to help them out. So there was this new channel called the Toy Report, which I hear is being, talks about toys. It's a toy collectors, in their 50s. And what's that sound in the background?
Oh, that's just notification. My girlfriend's talking to me at the same time. Sorry.
Yeah, you want to mute notifications. It's going to be distracting to me. I get easily distracted.
I'll mute myself.
So these guys here called the Toy Report. This is their first pilot episode. I think they've got more coming up, and so I thought I'd check this out there first. This is the link in the chat for them. As you can see here, this is the very first. They put it out 3 weeks ago, and the guys who are running it, well, the guys involved. There's this big stew from Borgia, Texas. The guys, they were at now I've got my freaking notification going on. They were at the Borgia, Texas Boomtown convention, and they were, I guess he was selling a Big Stew who owned a comic and toy store. He just closed it down. Was selling his toys and stuff there, and comics. And then Hawk is actually from Rising Sun Comics. He's a publisher, but also a toy collector and a big G.I. Joe fan. So these guys got together and put together this channel here. So do check them out. It's called the Toy Report, and the link's in the chat. Let's go to their actual page. This is their first one. So this is these guys here, and that's the one there. You can see it. So yeah, let's thought I'd put that out for those people who are into toys like myself and comics, and I'm sure these guys. And by the way, Hawk is a toy maker as well, a toy designer, I should say. So he would have some great insight as a toy designer for those who are actually looking for, making their own toys or putting their characters out as toys. Now, today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff, but first up, I want to talk about something that really, how like they say, is that a goat? Is that someone who's got your goat? Is that an American saying or something?
Yeah, someone's got your goat, or there's so many slang words that mean something.
Right. So this thing came out, and it really annoyed me. Not that this came out, but the people who were trotting all over it, like stomping all over it, all the efforts behind the work, the artists behind the work, just really, really pissed me off what they were saying, right? And it just, it bothered me so much. And I was going to buy this, I was looking at it, I was like, well, I'm not a Christian, right? And I don't go out here saying that I'm such and such, and I have learned the Bible, right. I have been to church,
yeah.
But I'm not someone who would go out of my way to, put down Christianity, because I think Christianity is a good thing. The Ten Commandments
has to be better than Islam.
oh, it has to be. It's better than anything in the world, bro. Because like I said, I have studied it, right?
Right.
And I've read the Bible many times, enough times to know that it's a good thing. Hey, I don't follow it. That's on me, right? And if you don't follow it, that's on you.
Right.
But
Right. Well,
you
I've been
don't
going to
go.
church
You
since I've been.
yeah, you shouldn't go out there and start, you know, stomping all over it and crapping all over it because it's not your thing, right? You just move on, you know. But someone, Jim, do you know who that
Yeah.
was like
Well, yeah.
blaspheming and
Oh, I know who it is.
terrible things all over this thing.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's the Bible. I always like to, and this to me, this verse goes pretty hard. It's Romans 12:19, and
Mhm.
it's about. Let me look it up. People can look it up themselves. Oh, Romans 12. Keep talking. I got it. 19.
Yeah. I was just looking for while you're doing that, I was looking
Yeah.
for a clip because here's the link for the by the way, here's the link in the chat, and I'll put on the screen for
Okay.
this item here, right? This from Ripper Sand, and I think most of it is because they're jealous, all the things
Of
they're
course
saying
they
about
are.
this, and not only that, because they hate the black man who makes comics better than them.
Yeah.
Tim, did you know that Eric July is a black man? I hear.
What?
I hear Raptor saying that all the time. Like Eric July is a black man. I'm like,
Oh, well, hail Black Caesar.
for real?
Yeah, for real, y'all. Okay, so Romans 12:19 states, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord." That verse goes pretty hard, and that goes. Just remember to think about that about anybody who says anything rotten about you,
Mm.
or treats you awful, or screws you over. Just look at them and think God's gonna smoke your ass, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Well, it doesn't even have to be God because karma, like I believe in karma, right? What goes around comes around.
Oh yeah,
And I think that's got to do with me being an Indian, right, from Fiji. Is
right.
that like it's just the fact that like you put out in the world what you want back, right? If you want to treat people, you know, nastily, if you treat people nasty, somebody is going to treat you nasty, right? If you rob, steal, cheat other people, it's going to come back on you, and might not come back today, or tomorrow, or next year, but it will
Yeah.
come back. I've seen it in my own life, man. Like, if I've done somebody some bad, it's always come back to me eventually.
But then also the Bible says that you should love your enemies,
Yeah,
and that's
you
just
know,
kind of. But that's called taking the high road. You
Yeah.
don't have to actually be friends with your enemies. They just have to be not go out with like a Punisher like thirst for revenge.
Yeah. Just leave it up to justice of the world, right? Eventually, like we say, for pedos and all that, we just go, hey, let send them to prison, let prison justice sort it out.
Yeah.
But like, I love this book. When I saw this art, I was like, man, I love this art.
That is definitely an all ages book right there.
Yeah, I just love just the cuteness of it. And here's the thing, for me, I love watching a lot of anime stuff, right? Because it just mentally my head, because I write some crazy shit, right? The last 3 hours I was editing issue 3 of Templeton, which we've actually finished all the artwork for, but I wanted to edit the dialogue and bring it up to date. And then also I was because I'm about to edit issue 2 I'm editing now, which is already all the art's done. And then also issue 3 I'm editing because I got to bring it up to date with everything else we're doing in the Plunge universe, because there's a religion Plunge universe called the Temple of the Polyhedron, and it's got nothing to do with Christianity. It's just its own religion, right? So I want to make sure that it stood on its own foot. So in that book, bro, there's some hideous things happens in that book, right? Because it's about heaven and hell. It's about violence. It's an R-rating book, and it's like a HBO, with horror. And so
I say
I like, and the reason, and that's why I go and watch anime, because I want my brain not to be all full of crap, right? I want some cute stuff in there, some, colorful imagery that's not gonna, that doesn't drown me in the crap that I'm writing, because I write all types of stuff, right? All ages, teenage, and also, like I said, R18 books, right? Comic books.
Right.
But this stuff, I love this stuff, Tim. This is
It's a nice
great, man.
change of pace, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I'm not a Christian, so I thought, well, there's no point me spending money on it. But you know who is a Christian, Tim?
A lot of people.
My brother
Right.
in Australia and my sister in New Zealand.
You should totally get them copied.
So I sent the link to my to our family group chat. I said, hey, check this out. And then I thought, you know what? I should buy the T-shirt for myself, which is here, because I'm not going to buy the book because it's for kids, and it's probably just going to sit on my on my tape. I mean, on my shelf. So I thought, well, why don't I buy the T-shirt? And then I thought, well, if I buy the T-shirt, people are going to go like, oh, he must be a Christian. Then they're going to ask me questions, and they'll be like, oh, so you're not following? I'm like, and then I thought, you know what I should do, Tim?
Christmas presents?
I thought, my brother.
Right.
Why don't I buy my brother this T-shirt? So I said to him, hey, what's your size? And so he gives me his size. I say, what's your address? He gives me his address. I go, well, if I give my brother the T-shirt, my nephew's going to say, well, it's my birthday's coming up. How come Uncle Aru, the Monkey King, didn't send me a birthday present? So you know what I thought?
What the hell's with that, man?
Yeah, I thought, well, let's not be like a half and a half on this. Buy him the freaking book, the comic book, the graphic novel, right? Hardcover. Give that to the son, to my nephew, and then give the T-shirt to my brother. And now I've got 2 birthday presents covered in one shot, bro.
You know what I had to do? I had to copy the link to that and send it to my church.
And that's what I'm hoping, that my brother and my sister will do, right? They'll send it to send it out to their friends in the church.
Yeah.
That'll bring more people to this. Because look at this. There were after 200 sales, it's 148, bro. And I'm one of those people who bought it. Right? So let's watch the trailer.
All right.
Unless you got something else to say on this.
No, I just know a bunch of people who would love to get the copy of that.
Yeah.
And EVS and crew can suck it. They can suck it hard.
I mean, those people there who are like total heathen. I'm a heathen, right? But those guys are beyond that. They're really like pagan, anti. They're really anti-Christians over there in CG, man, in Comicsgate.
You're like heathen light.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not even gonna like blaspheme, bro. I don't even like take the Lord's name in vain. That's how I'm on this, because I just find it like, that is God, right? And I'm not gonna like blaspheme against my God, right? Even though I don't follow my God, doesn't mean I don't believe in him, right? So that's my heathen. But I'm not I'm not an anti person, because I find the behavior of Comicsgate and their Messiah cult leader Ethan Van Scammer, to be abhorrent. So here we go. Did you hear that, Tim?
Yes. Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure the volume was coming through all right. Actually, let's go full blast it. There we go. There you go. I'm actually putting together. I've got the script, but I'm putting together a trailer for uh, our own comic book at the moment, which is about to launch on the 14th of April. It's about 4 or 5 days from now. Tim, is that? I think that's about. Well, it's Tuesday next week for America, but it's Wednesday for New Zealand. But the this book looks so good, man. You know, the 3-panel thing, and you can see the early art that he did there. Let me just show you. Bring this on screen and minus the volume.
I just shared that link with I went to my church's Facebook page and I just sent it to them on their messenger. I want to try to encourage them to try to like share that on their page.
Yeah, on the newsletter and stuff, because there's some parent out there going, well, because like I'm not sure about you, Tim, but as a kid, I had a hard time reading English and speaking English because I came from Fiji, where the language in the family and amongst all my friends in school was Hindi, right? So it took me ages to learn, and up till I was 15, to how to read properly and write. And now, I'm a professional writer, right? Producing comic books and such. But this whole idea of like a wordless comic book, man, for kids is amazing, right? You're making it up in your head. All the scripts are there, scriptures there for them to, I think it's about here somewhere. I saw that at the bottom of each page, there's a scripture lining up with what the work is, right? Or was it on the other one? And what you're seeing, right? And so it makes everything easier to process as a kid.
What is it? What was the gripe about the book? What were they?
Oh, that it's blasphemous, and it's like I'm like,
how?
I'm like, what? How does this book with all the scriptures there blasphemous, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I know why it's like that, because CG themselves is anti-Christian, so they need to trot on anything that is Christian. So and I mean by CG I mean Comicsgate, right?
Right.
And plus they hate Mike S. Miller, who is doing so well, guys. Professionally, Mike S. Miller.
Did Mike work on that?
Yeah, this is his book.
Oh wow, that I see. I hadn't know anything about that yet.
Oh, okay.
So Mike, I just shared your link with everybody at my church. Hopefully they see it, and hopefully you want to get it. So
yeah. So this is the creator, and we'll go back onto the book. Right? Actually, let's go into find out about the book, right? So then we'll segue into about Mike and how well he's doing, and kind of like Hollywood, with his work out there. Now, the campaign story, right? So Afar began in 2015 with a powerful and deeply personal vision. During a moment of reflection in church, creator Mike was struck by a vivid image: humanity covered in the weight of its own brokenness, contrasted against a perfectly clean figure, Jesus, walking among them, which is what you can see here, right? With wearing all white, complete white suit. Now, I remember, I don't know who it was in Comicsgate that poison apple that is in indie comics, infesting and inflicting all its disgusting ways upon indie comics. Yeah, upon indie comics and comics crowdfunding. So they were saying, "Oh, why is he looking like a Baptist preacher?" I'm like, dude, can you just see
what's wrong with a Baptist preacher? Aren't Baptist a denomination in the world of Christianity?
Yeah,
it's just like it'd be like me saying, "Well, why does he look like a Lutheran?"
Yeah, but that's what Comicsgate is all about. It's about being anti-Christian, because they try to say they grift off the money. This is what cracks me up about grifters, man, especially Comicsgate, is that they grift off money from Christians and conservatives pretending themselves to be Christian, and people who don't understand Christianity or haven't stepped inside a church, or actually worse even, haven't read a Bible, think that what they're saying is Christian, is the Christian life.
We all know Mormonism is not a form of Christianity.
No.
Their founders saw tablets that no one else saw. How retarded are they?
Yeah, and Jesus appeared in America, right? in a
Right.
cave. Okay, so here, let me go back to this. So Mike was struck by a vivid image: humanity covered in the weight of its own brokenness, contrasted against a perfectly clean image, a figure, Jesus, walking among them, not distant or removed, but present among them, ultimately taking that burden onto himself so others could be made whole. That image became the foundation of Afar and set the direction of what would become an ambitious, creative undertaking Mike set out to tell: a gospel story without words. Now, before I say continue with this line here, do you know there was a book put out by Marvel Comics? I just remembered just now.
I saw that. It was about
No
the Easter
words.
story.
No, I think
Oh, G.I. Joe, the famous
no. It
G.I.
was
Joe issue.
no. It was like it was Marvel Comics. So wordless Marvel. Let me just look it up. Marvel comic book.
Yeah,
I think it was about 2000s.
oh, was it? Because they had a G.I. Joe one that had no words.
What was it called? Let me just do this thing. And while that's looking for that, I'll continue with this. So, relying entirely on visual storytelling to communicate a message that could reach anyone, regardless of language or background. Now, if you've ever been in a church or around Christians in like 90s, 2000s, there used to be this card that you'd have. It was like black, red, white, green, blue, and I think it was. And it was used to tell a short story about Jesus, right? To people who didn't understand, you know. And so, blood, red for the blood of Jesus, green card for earth, black for sin, and then Jesus washing away your sins, the white card, right? And so that was one way of using no words and no pictures. However, there used to be also little, what they used to call checklet kind of things, but little tiny comic books, right? With three panels comic book scripts of word bubbles and text in it. Just short, I think about 10, 12 pages or something, but very small, like about 5 inches by 3 inches. Or 3 inches by 5 inches, sort of like, just like the shape, but smaller, right? Kind of like the same size that you can see on a screen, depending what sort, if you're watching on your mobile or on a TV, like I am. Now, the wordless comic, where is it? Gosh, I think this might be it. No. What? I think it was 2000s, man. I have a copy somewhere of it, and I think it was in entire. I think it was might have been during after 9/11. And it was I think it was X-Men, Avengers, Mutants. Oh well, that's the same thing, right? As X-Men. Let me see if Grok can put it up, because Google's not giving me anything. So back to this while that's doing its thing. Like many long-term creative projects, the work was interrupted. Life pulled Mike away before the book could be completed, and for years, Afar remained unfinished. And I've got books like that, man. Like I'm working on a book right now. I mentioned Templeton, the horror comic, supernatural horror comic, R18. I started that around about 2010, and now we've just finished last week. My artist finished the issue 2 of the art on it, because we only started that about 4 years ago. Started working on it, editing, bring it up into comic book, because it was supposed to be a graphic novel. So rewriting and everything. So it's sometimes projects take ages to do, and sometimes you have to put on back burner and restart it when it's time. Like in Creator Girl, which issue 2 should be coming out next month or so on Kickstarter. I started that in like 2007, right? That's nearly 20 years ago. Rewriting it, changing logos, changing design of the the character, changing the costumes. all that stuff. So here we go. So everything changed when Mike sought guidance and prayer, but about how to best use his time and talents. In that quiet moment, his thoughts returned to afar. Taking that clarity and direction, he committed to finishing what he had started. More than a decade after its beginning, that's 2015, that original vision has now been fully realized. Afar stands as a visual journey of sacrifice, redemption, and grace, told in a way that invites each reader to experience its meaning personally. Now, through Represent, that vision is ready to be shared with the world, but the story doesn't have to stop with you, right? So you can do charity donations, right? Give away this book, buy it for somebody, that some kid
Cool.
that you like,
That's a good idea.
and it's cheaper for that because it being a charity donation, they're not charging, making any profit of it. It's just what they're paying for it, right? Production, because these books are costing,
Didn't they try to say that Rippasend was going away because it's not doing so well? Isn't that what
I don't know, man.
Remember they tried to say that? They're like, well, it's not doing very well.
Well, you got to say that when you haven't put out a book in 5 years, Tim.
Right.
But you've taken $2 million from people, right? Or more.
Act like a catty woman.
Yeah, the thing that whole concept of taking money and not producing goods.
Oh, and then calling it quality work. Well,
as an excuse, made me so furious, bro, that I, decided that I would not release my comics until they're fully finished, right?
Yeah, and then like they say, well, you got to spend a lot of money to make a quality book, and like,
not really.
There's so many iconic things that didn't take an arm and a leg to make. I mean, some people are so retarded.
Dude, I gotta put a trailer together for this, but like, this is coming out next Monday. Next Tuesday in the US, but Wednesday for us here in New Zealand. Check out the link. Go sign up for the pre-launch. First 25 get a was it like I can't even remember what we're putting out. Let me find out what we're putting out. You get a free first 25 backers get a free 6x9 cardstock image, right? Like I don't know, mini poster that you can frame or something. But so that's there. But this is a 2-in-1 campaign. So if you this is the reason I did this term. Sorry, I'm a bit muddly with my words today. The reason I did this, Tim, was that you get a choice between 2 projects and paying 1 freight, or buying both projects and paying 1 freight.
What's there not to love? Choices.
Yeah,
choices.
And it's a simple project, right? So that people aren't going to go, oh, what's this? It's like, it's 4 covers, 4 stickers, right? 4 cards, and a couple extras. And you can buy a bit of each one if you want, and you still pay the same freight charge, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times people try to charge you extra or more, for each item or add-ons as for freight. But I'm like, how do I make this cheaper for backers, right? And so next week, hang out with us. We're gonna do a live stream. Man, I'm really getting motivated today.
Is that like a
live strum?
Maelstrom?
Yeah, like a maelstrom or a guitar strum. So I'm going to do a live stream with our friend and co-host Tim.
Yes.
And the distributor, and our US publisher, and also hopefully with our artist again to come and help us launch this campaign.
Those are some good dudes. Those are
next week. Yeah. You can check out the live stream we did with them last week. So let's get back to this book, because we've got more stuff to talk about, but I think, let's go talk about this donation side of things, right? Continue with the donation side of things about Afar. Now, do you want to read this, Tim? Are you able to see that fully on your screen, or shall I go full mode like this. No, it's still not doing it. There we go.
There we go. Let me see. Let's see. Where should I begin?
With this one.
Let me embiggenate that so I can read that.
Okay, hold
you
on.
can purchase a bulk copies of a far minimum order of 5 books, and we will donate them to an approved charity of your choice. Is that about it, or is more? Okay. Grove Church, to know him and make him known. Christian Comic Art Society. The goal and purpose of CCAS is to document the work and support professional hopefuls and enthusiasts who hold the traditions of Christian faith within comic books and related industries. Emmanuel Lutheran Church, a place where God's children can come and be fed and nurtured by the word of God, preached and sacraments faithfully administered, where we who are burdened and heavy laden with sin can come and receive rest. Behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. John 1:29.
Right. So this is so what they're saying here, they have, and now the reason this is here, like these people, 3 people, these 3 churches are here, is because I'm sure the Ripper has gone out and talked with them and said, hey, or Mike, right? I said, hey, look,
Right.
I've got this book coming out. We're gonna want to do donation, items, and would like to give them to you and have people, support that. Would you be interested in that? And so these guys said, yeah, we'd love to. Let's partner up with you, right? And so you can choose one of these 3 and actually go find out about them if that's who you want to support. So you got these 3 people here to go to and decide if you want to support them with 5 or more books. So I mean that's pretty cool, man. I think this whole idea about this is pretty cool. Now let me go there so I can see my screen.
Of course, it would be more Christian like to give it to a heathen con where they can gamble and do other sinful vices
and promote gambling on their channel every day, every week, right? How much they lost, how much they won, to make people, make people who are Christians watching them think about gambling.
Yeah.
See, Tim, I used to be a gambler myself because I used to work in a local tavern where they would have, those slot machines.
Right.
And so while on my breaks, and after work, I would go and drop a coin in there, and it got so bad, Tim, that like, dude, I would like shop. I would like not go to class on time. And not go to and like call in, and if work called me, I say, oh no, I'm too busy, sorry, and I'll be sitting there at the pokey machines. That's what we call them in New Zealand, pokey, because you poke your coin into it, right? Slots. And it was so hard, man, to stop, because it was just like I kept telling myself, this is my free money, this is money that I can just spend. But then it started getting into my my budget money. And then it got to a point where I was spending my budget money to pay bills. And man, I had, started at one point, I actually went to the gambling, what is it called? Like an anonymous place, and go, dude, I'm gambling like $250 a week, and that's money I should be spending on something else. And I'm getting in trouble with my wife. And that like majority of divorces high up there is infidelity or money, right? Finances. Right. And I'm like, oh man, I just, this is not the way to do things. And it took me forever to stop. Like I'd sneak out like on my days off.
Oh no.
My wife didn't, and all this. And so, but a couple of years ago, I weaned myself off, right? I went like, $60 or $80, $60, $40, $20. And then I was like, why am I actually spending this? Same thing I had with smoking. Tim, I used to smoke
Right.
for years, man.
Really?
And I was like, why am I spending money on smoking when I can spend on other stuff that I can buy, or put it towards artist payments or colorist payments? Why? So I quit that as well 4 years ago, right? Smoking. So no gambling, no smoking. And yet here you got CG, who are supposed to be Christian, right? Hating on Mike's book, which has no words, just art.
And it's about the gospel.
And it's about the gospel, and they're saying it's unchristian and blasphemous. And I'm like, dude, you guys are the ones who are promoting this sort of stuff. Hey, Mike. Yeah, Mike saw my tweet on X,
What's up, Mike?
and responded, but like he, I invited him, but he's at somewhere, right? He couldn't make it. But next time, hopefully next Thursday. It's Friday for me in New Zealand, so I always have to go, wait, what day is it in America? So it's next Thursday. You're welcome to come on, Mike, and talk about this.
Maybe he can. Maybe he has a few moments where he can hop on. No, he
Yeah, he says, and that's more important than this channel.
Yes.
Family comes first, man.
God bless you, Mike.
Yeah. Well done, dude. Now, I'm going to look at some more products here that you can say before we move on, because I want to talk about Mike's amazing work out there in the world with his art. So I love this, and I do, like I said, I have a Christianity background. I have a brother and sister who are Christians, right? And I think mom's a Christian as well, but
right.
So I'm not going to call out my mom because I don't know. All right, we have faith sets, and nobody calls out my faith because I don't have one, right? But so which is why I don't buy this T-shirt, even though I love this T-shirt. Yeah. It gave me an idea for a T-shirt, and my artist is working on it. But we'll see how it goes for the Howler comic book, right? But Golgotha, bro, this is awesome.
Yeah, it does. I mean, black and white, anything looks good.
Just a kid walking towards, Mike, hey, now I'm trying to figure out, is this the tomb here, or that or is a kid walking towards the cross? I need that information before I say anything else.
Oh, hey, those are the three crosses on the hill. The one where the
but
the one with Jesus and the two thieves.
Yeah, but this looks like it's the tomb, right?
Yeah,
is that what that is?
Yeah, the one
that Jesus
the rock
is risen?
rolled away. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. I know it's just about it is a tomb. See, I was right. Dang it. So this striking T features a powerful silhouette framed within an open tomb, capturing the moment of emergence and the promise of something greater beyond. A lone figure steps forward. See, even I could get that it was, it's got to be like the tomb there, and he's coming out, and the cross is represented there, so that's about Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Without the crosses there, you wouldn't know what this is about. It's
How dare you, Mike, make a Christian comic book about Jesus? So blasphemous.
So the T-shirts are 100% cotton, which is good because they're nice and heavy, right? So you've got small for kids all the way to over here somewhere is like Ethan Van Sciver's size, like the 4X. This is probably size. Yeah, that's why he hates it, because he thinks he has to get the largest size T-shirt to fit him. So he's gonna really put down Mike's work, right?
Oh, he has to sneak out at 4 a.m. to do anything with money.
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't do that, dude. I didn't sneak out at 4 a.m. to go gambling.
That's pretty low.
I just did all my days off. So, you know what I should have done? I should have went for this, because I ended up buying a T-shirt, and I think I should have just bought the whole lot. Then my sister, when she would go to Australia next month, she could have picked it up from them, from my but I don't know when it's going to be delivered, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, let's go to Mike, right? Oh no, not about us. Let's go to Mike. About the creator is what I'm after. There we go. Now, I know Mike from his work on Injustice, right? Am I wrong? God, yeah, there it is. So God's Amongst Us. That's his first time I saw. I mean, I've been reading comics for ages, but like, that's the first time it stood out to me. Was that because for me, Tim, I've always had a Joker, and I even in a debate in a comic shop 20 years ago, 26 years ago, 23 years ago, 2003, about why they still keep the Joker around, right? Why don't they just get rid of this horrible, evil villain who's killing at this point millions of people, right? And the guy in the shop goes, the shop manager goes, well, that's because to have someone like Batman, you got to have his opposite, right?
Right. And it's just feel like that. They're definitely there has to be a Joker if there's going to be a Batman.
Right. But even then, like my brain, is like, dude, just get rid of him. Just like, I can't have someone out there like being a terrorist, because in the real world, right? In the fantasy world, you can keep having him in and out of jail, but in the real world, I'm like, just take him out. After the first, second kill, it's like, nah, you're done.
They've kind of approached that before in the books. The Killing Joke kind of tackled that issue. Sooner or later, one of them's going to kill the other one.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, when it comes to crime and punishment, I'm black and white, right? And then then I go into some gray areas. We go, well, there's a reason for this. But in comics these days, in modern comics, there is no, everything has to be gray to them, and I don't like that. So for me, I'm always like, if I have a villain, it's a black villain, right? He's like evil. There is no gray matter there. I mean, the characters, normal characters, yeah, they can have some grayness in them, but if it's a criminal, you got to say, if you got a villain, villain's a villain, right?
Well, I don't know. I think you could have a little of both. I think you have some villains that are, some characters that are white, some characters that are black, and then sometimes in between you do have those moments that are gray.
Yeah, but I mean, like, sometimes you got to at least have one all-out black villain.
Yeah,
right?
it's basically very decisive. He's evil.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about skin color here. I'm talking about, like, the level of villainous, right? And black representing sin and evil. So
now if we were Comics Gate, we would be talking about skin color.
Yeah. Did you know, Tim? And I've been reminded often, and I keep having to remind myself, as the Lizard Messiah says, Eric July is a black man.
He is. I honestly thought about one time of doing a Zed and Odysseus story where there's a Eric July character being terrorized by a bunch of comic skaters, and they make a burning crucifix out of rolled up comic books.
Yeah, imagine hating someone who's better at business than you are, and then using that as an excuse to hate that person.
Such thin skin. Honestly, that's a good proof that there are a bunch of has-beens.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of prima donna has-beens, and they see somebody who's better, and they lose their shit.
Now, talking about Mike, who is actually better than them because he's putting out a book.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Now, Mike S. Miller is a veteran comic book artist with a career spanning more than 3 decades. More than 3. That's more than 30 years. That is actually 34 years, because he started in 1992. He's worked across major publishers, starting at Image Comics with Jim Lee's Wildstorm, right, studio, contributing to multiple X titles, and I'm sure I've got some of them.
Oh, wow.
At Marvel. And later,
huh?
Yeah, bro. Oh, hold on. Wait, he might have just started on the X titles after I left the comics shops in Auckland, and like, I think that was just after I stopped collecting comics.
I was like
13. Then I came back to it.
I was like 13 when he started working on professionally on comic books. Wow.
Yeah, I think yeah, if I did have any of his books, I lost them all in '96 in a fire. So all my first collection was all gone in a fire at that point. So, but yeah, if he was working on any X-Men titles, I think I might have had them because I think it was '94 when I stopped collecting, and '96 when I lost them all. Anyway, so he's worked across many, right? So and X titles at Marvel, and later working on Adventures of Superman and JLA for DC Comics. At a pivotal point, he was set to take on a major JLA maxi series before being blacklisted for his outspoken Christian faith, leading him to, and yeah, he actually was blacklisted, not like some of the has-beens in comic date who say they were blacklisted or canceled, but from what I understand, Mike was actually blacklisted for his faith, leading him to pivot toward independent work, and that path resulted in collaboration with George R.R. Martin on the comic book adaptation of Hedge Knight and its sequels, The Sworn Sword and The Mystery Knight, which became top-selling titles on Amazon. His work. Oh, actually, by the way, when he mentioned that, I went, I'm going to go find me the first copy of that. And I think I got the first I couldn't find it, so I got a first issue of this one. His body of work is also includes Injustice: Gods Among Us, which, like I mentioned, is one of my favorite comic book stories in modern DC Comics, and cover art for Game of Thrones. Works across decades, 30 years, as we said, 34 years. Mike has built a reputation for strong, character-driven visuals, disciplined storytelling with a clarity that allows each panel to deliver meaning, emotion, and intent without excess. Yeah, when you're telling a story without words, you got to be very, very good at storytelling without words, right? Because you know you're just looking at it, and I think that's why I love this, because you can see, just the looks on the kids' faces here, man. And the people's faces. You know, like what's going on here?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a very watered down but very kind of wholesome Calvin and Hobbes kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, it makes you really, look like the thing about without words, a picture without words, you actually read more into it and you spend more time on it, right? You look at
Right.
everything that's there, and because you're like, oh, what's going on here?
That could easily be a comic strip, though,
Oh yeah.
in your local paper. I don't know why he doesn't submit it to a local paper for.
Well, I mean, he could later, right? Once this is all out,
Yeah.
once they do what they do, right? Talking about that, we Plunge Comics a couple years ago, we put out a 3-panel comic strip. Now, where is? That's weird.
What's weird?
Oh no, I'm trying to find. I forgot where I saved my
Oh,
our page for Plunge Comics website. Here we go. So let's bring it up. I'll show you. So I've actually not dabbled, but we actually put out 3-panel comic books because comic strips, because I wanted to test myself. Could I tell a 3-panel comic strip? I mean, story in 3 panels, right? So we worked on this. I think it's been 3-4 years, maybe the last time we worked on this. So it's kind of like a political satire thing called PJ and Shibi. So
right.
if you guys want to, yeah, if you're interested, you can check that out later for yourselves. I want to get back to this, but I don't have any stories to tell because I'm busy doing other stuff. But do go check this stuff out, guys.
I should
There's about
probably try
17.
to do that. I wonder if I could write 3-panel stories. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So this is about a bear and his daughter, right, and his wife. If I remember, I think that's his wife, or maybe there's a different one. So I haven't looked at this for a couple of years because, so it's just about social media and everything, just anthropomorphic animals, so there's no cats or dogs in this universe, and so there's just the whole idea about the animal kingdom and them being having human traits. So do check that out now. And it's fun doing something like this because it makes you think outside the box of doing a 90-page comic book, right? Which basically, I write it as a 90-page script, which becomes like a 6-issue comic book, because you always got to be challenging yourself, or you get stale.
Right, you get locked into doing the same thing. You're not growing. Yeah.
So back to Mike, and I want to go over to Hedge Knight stuff because they just made it into a TV show. Right. Let me bring the Hedge Knight up, and I think that's what broke Comicsgate, right? That they've been, and Mike was very quiet about this. Until it came out, Mike said nothing.
Mike doesn't need to say anything. He doesn't owe them. He doesn't. CJ thinks that people owe them something, and they don't owe them. People don't owe them shit. They're not. They're not. They didn't take over anything. They didn't make a difference. They didn't change anything. In fact, all the SJWs just found out how to get around them by ignoring them.
Yep. Now,
anyway, continue.
So this series just came out. That
looks kind of cool.
Dude, I wasn't even going to talk a lot about this today, and I think we'll just stay with like Afar, right? And Mike today. And hopefully we'll get him to come on next week, and we'll ask him all the
come on, Mike.
We'll do a little interview type thing. Yeah, we'll do a plunge pop thing where we talk to, we interview other people. Oh, by the way, talking about that, I loaded up a Critical Blast interview I did. Let me see where it is, if I can find it. Yeah, I did an interview with RJ from Critical Blast about 2 years ago. And so, so I uploaded that interview on our channel a couple of days ago. Oh, yeah.
Shout out RJ.
When did I put that up? Let me just have a look, and I'll get the link in the chat for people. And by the way, thank you guys if you're watching us on Twitter, right, on X.
What's up?
If you're watching us on Twitch, thank you. And if you're watching us here on YouTube, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for watching us, period.
Exactly. And if you're sharing our links out, thank you so much.
God bless you.
May your dreams come true, and may all your hopes be fulfilled. Or may all your dreams be fulfilled, and may your days be filled with joy.
There you go.
So this is what I mean by plunge pop. So the plunge pop is basically where I interview, special guests, and we talk about, what they do, promote them, right? This is something that's always been part of my structure as a creator, is to have other people come on, and so that people could learn about what they're doing. So RJ is a distributor of comics, and is he a comic creator himself? It's been 2 years since I read his, interviewed him. Tim? Did I lose you, Tim? I think I lost him. Okay, so until we get him back, let's have a look at Hedge Knight. So now the show just started this year, right? And it's done really well. Look at this. From 226,000 people, it's 8.7. So it's good, because if you got like 200,000 people saying it's pretty good, then it's good, right? Because it averages it out. Now, it's a mature TV show. It's about the Hedge Knight. A century before Game of Thrones, Sir Duncan the Tall and Esquire Egg, I guess, is that Egg? Maybe not. Don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for it to all finish, and then I'm going to sit down and watch it. And the other thing is, I'm so glad it's up away from Game of Thrones, because that last season, didn't even watch it. I just read the book. I just read the last book. Anyway, so a century before Game of Thrones, Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire, Egg, and wondered, we got Tim back? Do we have Tim back? Let's see if we've got Tim back. Where is Tim? I don't see Tim anywhere. Is he here yet?
I don't think like that. I always feel like a hot young star, on the other hand. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not? You know? I mean, I say that in jest. It neither has any meaning nor doesn't have it. I mean, everyone should think of themselves as that, you know?
No,
And
I am a hot young star, and all the chicks want me.
That's
So,
good to know.
yeah, I'm back.
So, welcome back. So, yeah, a century before Game of Thrones, the Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg wandered through Westeros while the Targaryen dynasty ruled the Iron Throne, and dragons were still remembered. Great destinies and enemies await the incomparable friends. So, yeah, created by R.I. Parker and George. George, finish the damn book so I can add it to my collection, because it's missing the last book, man. And everybody's saying, just finish the book. But here's what I think about this, Tim, about why George isn't finishing the book. And it's something that somebody told me in the real world while I was looking over, at a second bookstore type thing, trying to, looking at what was I missing from, because sometimes I double up when I buy it. I'm like, oh. And then I was talking to this guy. This guy goes, you know what? You know why I think he isn't finishing the last book? Because he saw how the audience reacted to season 8, and realized that was his story and how he was going to finish season 8. The last book. And he needs to now go back and rewrite the last book and rethink how to finish that book, so that people will go back to reading it and not write it just like it's in the last season of Game of Thrones, because people hated that. And I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, dude. It does. I mean, like, I would feel like if I came up with a story and it wasn't received well, I would go away and rewrite it and spend time thinking through how to make it better. And I've actually done that with a comic book we put out first, with the webcomic. We were just saying to Tim before we came on, was that I actually spent $500 of my own money, actually more than that, to print 40 or 50 pages, 50 issues of a comic book that I've done that as a webcomic, black and white. And then realized that I didn't like the artwork. And then also my friend suggested there's too many words, too many speech bubbles on there. And so I decided to rework it, rewrite the script, and get somebody else who's a better artist than me to write it, to do the artwork on it.
Yeah.
Release it, right? And sometimes that plays on your ego, right? You got to sometimes realize that you're not that good at something, and it's better to get someone to do something. And it's the same thing with if you're a writer, right? If you got ideas, hand it over to any if you have trouble writing it, hand it over to someone who's a writer to write it.
Well, I mean, I've gotten better. I just for me, it's like I don't consider it done unless the editor has gone through it yet.
Yeah, I get 3-4 people to review the comic book, before it's before I actually go and add the final touch and say then it's finished.
Yeah.
And that's after editing it over and over again before that.
Yeah. I mean, I think my stuff has gotten better over time. It's you really got to kind of every book has to be better than the last one.
Exactly. And you just got to keep working on it until you're ready to put it out, and and then that way you don't have to put it, you're not putting anything with mistakes or errors, and that people can't come back at you and like, oh, you did this, you did that, and it's like, man, come on. Your first book is your first book is always going to have something wrong with it because
It's
you're
your
just
first book.
you're just trying to step out.
I mean, even Lasmat said your first book is never going to be like the best. Is never going to be the best thing ever. It's going to be, it's a starting point.
Now, get rid of that. Why is that showing up there? So let's have a look at this teaser, right? Trailer, teaser. Oh, it's a hold on. Let me get a trailer. Oh, dude, they're doing a Lord of the Flies remake.
Taylor fought for me.
Did you see that? There's a Netflix
Yeah.
Lord of the Flies series now.
Why though? It better be good.
It better not even exist, right? It's better just not to exist. Like they just keep making all those new. You know that people aren't actually watching that much streaming shows. They're watching old crap, dude. Yeah. I think it was like Culture Casino or someone put out a video or clip or something, and they said like they did the numbers. Majority of like the top viewing audience shows are old shows from like 2000s, 2010, right? And the new ones, people just watch and don't even talk about it. But the old shows, people still talk about. People still talk about Friends, bro. And Seinfeld.
Right. What new things can they talk about it? I was like, oh yeah, I saw that. I still watch Wings.
You do?
Yeah, Wings is still a perfect show.
That was like in a airport terminal, right? Like
yeah, it was airport in Nantucket.
Yeah, see, even we had that here. So I watched that as a teenager.
It still holds up. It still does.
Yeah. Now, I had something I wanted to bring up later in the way of around that idea, what you could like. We had such great TV back then. Things you could say, things you couldn't say. And there's a clip I've got from that I'll bring up later. So let's watch this trailer because I think I've seen a bit of it, but I haven't even watched the show, by the way. So it's new to me. But I think I read. I don't think I've read Hedge Knight yet, but I've read the other comic. It was called something of the Worm from George R.R. Martin. I think he did that with which company is that? Is that like Avatar Press? I think he did that with Avatar Press. All right. Is that cool or what?
Yeah, it looked like it might be kind of cool.
Better than whatever they do, what Amazon did with Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah. What'd you think of the series Alien Earth? I saw the first season of that.
When was the last time I watched that? Hold on, let me.
I thought that was a good series.
Where is it? Wait. Oh, the most recent one. Like you're talking about this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw like 15 minutes of the first one, and I just didn't watch the rest of it.
Really?
Yeah, I find at the moment I find like watching live action things a bit hard.
I don't know
why.
I saw her in the Pistols miniseries, and I thought she was a pretty good actress.
Oh no, it's nothing about like the acting or anything. It's just like I find it really hard to concentrate on watching live action. But let's watch a trailer. Here we go.
If I'm not human, what am I?
Did you even think about it? was it blue skies from Earth? Did you see a green world from your side?
This ship collected specimens. 5 new life forms from distant planets. Monsters. We don't lock them down. It will be too late.
So, what would you rate it as?
I would rate it as pretty decent.
Yeah, like numbers, like out of 10. What would you rate it as out of 10?
7. I don't know.
Yeah, see,
That's a bit high. Maybe 6.
yeah, see, that's why. So I'm on the right mode there with the 6. So I got like if there's like 9 hours I got to spend watching a 6 out of 10, 6 out of 10 series, I'd rather just go and watch an anime series.
Well, I mean, it seems like it's the kind of show that the second season will be better than the first one.
Yeah, and that's what they. Oh yeah, and that's what they've said about like Daredevil, Born Again. Like season 1 was pretty trashy. Like there's only 1 or 2 episodes that are worth watching, but they reckon season 2 is better. And I'm like, okay, so watch episodes to get the idea of what's happening from Daredevil, Born Again. Should I watch, right, to be able to understand what's going on when I watch season 2? It's the same thing that happened with Star Trek. When they did the whole Picard thing, first 2 seasons was totally trash. Then they said season 3 is good.
Right.
So I went and watched season 3, and then I realized I still got to go watch 1 and 2 because there's some, setups that I need to watch from that. And they just need to get better showrunners and let them write better, good stuff. Now, this is why people are watching old shit, right?
I don't
old
know. Like I
IP.
said, I like Alien Earth. I just think that there's could be more possibilities for something far grander than. I mean, everything seems like it's a setup for something bigger.
Yeah. Because I think, you're right. They're probably trying to make a whole franchise out of that, right? Revive the whole thing. Then they can make movies again. Then they can make, more series based on it.
The interesting thing about it is they've expanded the type of creatures that are in it, and like out that universe.
Right.
That it's not just like one corporation. The Earth is divided and controlled by multiple corporations, and this one focuses more on the guy whose corporation made the synthetics.
Right. What's his name? Win something? Was it like Win?
I forgot. It's like. But,
it's been a while since I watched that Alien movie. Now, before we move forward with this one, before we go into the the animated movies thing made in America, I came across a little clip from, Mr. Rogers, right? Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
So this was from 1983, which I was only 10 years old and never saw it because I don't think they played Joan Rivers in New Zealand TV back then. This was a video when they first met. So Joan Rivers used to have her own show, I guess. And this is where she, had Mr. Rogers on. So let me set up everything. This is a 90-minute clip. And then we're going to go on to our programmed show, which is the 20 greatest American animated movies of all time.
is celebrating his 30th anniversary. It's a long time in children's television. Isn't that wonderful? And he has a book that's been doing very well because Mr. Rogers Talks with Parents. Is it the camera? Okay, Mr. Rogers, or that, whatever. Mr. Rogers Talks with Parents. I watched my daughter grow up with him. I sang, "It's a pleasure to be in the neighborhood." All that. Right? Will you please help me welcome Mr. Rogers? Now, enough with being charming. Do you get hate mail? Let's go. 30 years, isn't that wonderful? 30. How did you get into children's television?
I went to NBC right after college, and I was with programs like the Hit Parade and Kate Smith Hour and the NBC Opera Theater. And I really learned the business from the other side of the camera.
And what happened? It's so funny, he's talking to me, and I just feel like, it's 8 years old, I'm gonna go, that's right. I'm so thrilled to have you here. And how did you get into children's television?
Well, it was because the public television station was beginning in Pittsburgh, and I thought that I wanted to help do children's programming,
And
so
you-
I went there.
And you've never left, 30 years.
I wonder how many people here grew up with the neighborhood.
Ah. We all did. That's Melissa. My child was very lucky because she grew up with Sesame Street. She was the Sesame Street generation. And you started Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood right at the same time. Wasn't that about?
Little before.
Little before. And she got it all. She was so lucky. Well, it wasn't in New York before, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't watching it then because I was in my late 20s, no offense. But why do you always take off your jacket and put on your sweater? Did you do that at home?
Well, I did, yeah. And you know, my mother made all these sweaters.
Aren't they wonderful? Your mother makes them for you all the time?
Well, she died a couple years ago, but every year she gave 12 of us a sweater at Christmas time.
That's wonderful in a way.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's very boring because you knew what you were getting. But no, but it's wonderful. I mean,
She was always working on one.
Didn't go, what's in here? But they're beautiful. I will give it back to you. I thought it was too good for the prop department. So do you, at home now, your children then grew up with you. You're married.
Yes. We have 2 boys. One is 22 and the other will be 24.
How did they feel first watching you as Mr. Rogers and then getting older and realizing that Mr. Rogers can also be daddy and be strict?
Well, at first, you know, they used to say other daddy when they'd watch the television. In fact, it's very strange for young people to see me in the flesh. In fact, I wonder if maybe that's why some people are laughing.
Oh, it's
when they because they're so used to seeing me about this big.
It's just like for me, I'm so, it's like talking to a teacher. You know what I mean? Like I can't say, you know, have you ever fooled around? I mean, there's certain things. We'll do this commercial right back. I mean, you can't say that to me. We are back. Talking with Fred Rogers and Mr. Rogers. Now, I know you have a degree in theology and a degree in child psychology.
Well, I've worked in the field of child development for a long time, and we're very serious about the work that we do, and that's why I feel that Mr. Rogers Talks with Parents, that new book of ours, is going to be helpful in that the people who read it will know that we're not just babysitters.
But you're not just a babysitter. There's always a whole philosophy behind what you do, isn't there, on your show?
Absolutely.
Much more than just like comics and, you know.
Well, there are a lot of people who think that all you have to do is to get a whole lot of cartoons and string them together, and that's your children's program. Well, that is not a children's program. Children are to be respected, and I respect them deeply. They've taught me an awful lot. A little boy today said,
Lovely.
a little boy today said, "Is there watermelon ice cream?" And he said, "All I heard was strawberry ice cream. I wondered if there was any other kind of fruit ice creams." And I just thought that was wonderful. I learned so much.
How old was the boy?
They tell me.
4, it's wonderful. 18, you think.
King Friday.
Oh,
give you
yeah.
history?
Oh, please.
This is King Friday the 13th.
Oh,
It came.
Isn't that good?
Yes, how do you do, Miss Rivers?
A pleasure.
How do you do, everyone? Very pleased to see you. Do you know that little ditty, rowing your boat down the stream? Do you know that?
I know that very well.
Oh, would you sing it for me, please? All of you. Would you, please?
Will you sing it?
If you don't sing the song, I would have to beat your ass.
I thought that was interesting because the whole idea there about was that you just put together a bunch of cartoons and that's children's television now, right?
Yeah.
And there's no sort of interaction. There is no sort of like and or any sort of like humanity to it. The live, like the people talking to you, in between that. And I think the sad thing is that that's what's happening with a lot of parents, like this generation's parents, right? The last 15, 20 years of kids just growing up on their tablets, just cartoons, and nothing else. But now the worst thing is that now a lot of that is just AI generated stuff.
Well, another issue is, I think the biggest problem is that their thoughts are engineered by algorithm.
Right.
They don't, like, for instance, I saw, like I'm telling people this, I'm amazed that I saw 3 20-somethings on this video, and two out of 3 thought that the phone number 911 was established because of 9/11.
Yeah.
And the third one was smart enough to Google it and look it up.
Yeah.
And then there's this podcast, and they had they're all 20-somethings, these OnlyFans chicks. And they asked them questions where the answers were actually in the questions. Like, what country is the Panama Canal in? What country is the Great Wall of China in? And they refused to answer it. They didn't. It's like it's the easiest thing to answer in the world. And it's just like they have all this knowledge at their fingertips, but they choose to be stupid.
Yeah, it's willful ignorance, but it's also laziness as well, right?
Well,
their whole thing. Part.
Yeah, sorry. Their whole thing
and that's the thing about it, because they, all that, like, you're carrying a frigging computer. The entire knowledge of the world is in your hand, in your pocket, daily.
You Google it,
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to know something, I'd look it up.
Yeah.
But it's like it's also very performative. A lot of these 20 to 30 somethings everything's performative. They have to put on a persona and be this person who they're not in real life. It's like going on your show. It's like going on your show going for 30 minutes.
Well, the crazy thing is that, like, I just got reminded about that. Like, I mean, there's like the guy in CG does that all the time, right? They all like put on everything that you don't even know if it's true or not, and mostly it's lies. But here's the thing: that, like, Jeremy Hambling or whatever of the quartering got exposed majorly.
Yeah,
like,
I heard about that. That guy. What happened? Whatever happened to that guy? He just kind of lost his freaking mind.
Yeah, and on Easter, right? And but just like CG on Easter, right? Like, totally attacking Mike S. Miller's wordless cartoon book, right? Comic
based on the gospel.
Based on the gospel, yeah. So, man, I don't know, man. People just be yourself, right?
Just be real. We already live in a world that's fake enough. Why do you have to be somebody you're not? You're not this cool guy. You're an odd, bizarre, nerdy guy on the internet, interacting with other bizarre, nerdy guys on the internet, talking stupid shit. Sorry.
That's all right. So here we go with The Wizard, right? So we're gonna probably cover about 3 or 4 of these, or a bit more. However, let's start with and we'll come back again next week or so with the third part. Now, The Wizard is 1977, dude. It's one of the oldest. I mean, I was only 4 years old when this came out. American animated shows by Ralph Bakshi. Now, Ralph, there's so many short docos, long docos on Ralph Bakshi. He's done a lot of adult, mature feature movies, animated movies for kids, right? I mean, not for kids, sorry, for grown-ups. And so some of them a bit more raunchy and some of them aren't. But this one's a really cool one as a fantasy, work. So let me tell you a bit about it before we go into this trailer.
Isn't this one an allegory for World War II?
Let's have a look. It's been a while since I watched it. So the plot.
Yeah,
so,
it's real far out there, but go ahead.
Yeah, so the Earth has been devastated by a nuclear war. It takes 2 million years for radioactive clouds to allow sunlight in. The humans who survived the apocalypse have been transformed into mutants, while humanity's true ancestors, trolls, fairies, elves, and dwarfs, resurface and live in the idyllic land of Montego. While her people celebrate 3,000 years of peace, Delia, queen of the fairies, falls into a trance and gives birth to twin wizards, the light-hearted Avatar and his evil mutated brother Black Wolf. After Delia's death, years later, Black Wolf attempts to usurp her leadership, but Avatar defeats him in a magical duel. Black Wolf leaves Montego, vowing to return and make this planet where mutants rule. Yeah, so I guess it's more about nuclear war than World War II, bud.
Okay, I was wrong. I it's been like forever. It's just an odd cartoon. That's all.
Yeah. So the budget for this movie was $2 million. The box office for this movie was $9 million. So that means they made a profit of over $5 million, which is pretty good. But over the last 50 years, right, I wonder how much more profit it's made since then. So let's have a look at this trailer while I go and ask Grok about that.
All right, let it roll.
Let's go back to the store.
Out of the imagination of Ralph Bakshi, master of animation, comes the story of a mystical land in the far distant future. A land inhabited by enchanted creatures. A land ruled by wizards.
Attention! Leaders of tomorrow's master race!
The evil Black Wolf, wizard of darkness, who summons up the creatures of hell and launches an army of mutants, monsters, and unspeakable horror upon the gentle people of Montego. Only one force stands in the path of Black Wolf's evil horde, the Wizard of Good, the Messiah of Peace, the mighty Avatar.
You gotta be kidding. I'm too old for this sort of thing.
Ralph Bakshi's epic animated adventure, Wizards, rated PG.
Yeah, this is a bit more of class as a general audience thing, right? Because Ralph does, and I've seen a lot of Ralph's movies.
Yeah, he's pretty hardcore.
His
messed up shit.
Yeah, and he's a great filmmaker when it comes to animation. He's like the trendsetter for a lot of the people who have come after him, right? And I think if you want to,
what other things he's done.
we're going to look at that now. So he's been doing, he started in 1956 when he was 18, and he was hired by Terry Toons. And this was New Rochelle. Is Rochelle like in America? Oh yeah, New York. Yeah. So let's see. I wanted to look at his. Yeah. So one of his first productions, right, is Fritz the Cat, and he's done about 2-3 versions of this, and I've watched all of them, I think. And the most recent one I've watched is either Heavy Traffic or Hey Good Looking and Coonskin. and these are all kind of like that 1970s, 60s hippie era type, you know, style of cultural animation movies. And
Underground stuff, very much.
yeah, pretty much underground indie, indie art style thing. Now, I said I was going to ask the question about release of Wizards since 1977. That $2 million animated movie has made profit of about $20 million over that time being.
Wow.
And a lot of movies these days, dude, flop without actually getting back their budget.
That cartoon was that one. Did that pave the way for cartoons like Heavy Metal and?
No, Heavy Metal. Let me find that because
that's based on the magazine.
Yeah. We're going to look at Heavy Metal later, but because it's Canadian, so after we do the Americans in a couple of weeks, we'll once we get that over with, we'll look at the Canada one. But let me answer your question here. Am I on the right screen? Yeah. So when I was looking through this, Heavy Metal falls in under Heavy Traffic. Where are you? Is it 77? Here, 80s. So we're still in 77. So it was Canadian, right? So it's the first Canadian animated feature. One of my favorites as well, right? So that is, like you said, it's based on the Heavy Metal movie magazine.
John Candy. No wonder it had John Candy as Dan. Or Dan.
Yeah. Where are we? Roger, is that face not going to come up? Roger Burrows, John Vernon. Is that a? Yeah, I recognize this guy's face. I was like, I know that name.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, looks familiar.
He's been in so many movies as like the principal, the teacher.
He seems like that guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think he could play anything else but that guy.
Yeah. I think he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes, he was. Maybe not. I don't remember actually.
Yeah. Look at all the villains he plays. He's like always been known as the villain kind of roles. Was he in Ferris Bueller? Where is it? It was a Knight Rider, right? As a villain, A-Team as a villain.
He was like a villain.
Yeah. Texas Walker, Walker, Texas Ranger. He was a villain. Yeah. So we'll look at that when we get to Canada. But Wizard, $2 million, man. As I was mentioning, like there's a lot of like huge blockbuster movies right now that aren't even like I'm talking about like $50 million, $30 million, $100 million that aren't even getting their budget back for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean I'm sure that happens.
It's just so sad because like they keep regurgitating stuff that people don't want to watch.
Yes, yeah. They do keep on regurgitating.
And like the Lord of the Rings. I mean, not Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Flies, bro. Netflix doing a Lord of the Flies TV show.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how they can make a TV show out of that. It seems like it just would be made for a movie.
Well, it has been made into a movie, right? But they're always trying to rather than, and this is what I like about Ralph Bakshi with his animated stuff. He was always doing new stuff, right? New stories. He wasn't like going back and getting somebody else's stuff and doing it, adapting it. He was just writing his own stuff. Now, if I remember right, since we're talking about that, I'll just bring this this trailer up for Lord of the Flies. And I don't know how they're gonna work this, but like Jack Thorne, William Golding is the writer of this, and I've seen this, it's such an old book, dude. Right? I've watched the 90. I think I've seen the 1990 and the 63 version of it. Right? So
Right.
let's have a look at this old trailer because I think 63, bro. I wasn't even born. This 10 years before I was born.
Comes a brilliant, exciting motion picture, Lord of the Flies.
Piggy? Huh? That was murder. You stop it. What good are you doing talking like that? It was dark. There was that bloody dance. There was thunder and lightning and rain. We were scared. It wasn't what you said. Oh, Piggy!
The artful, chilling story of castaways degenerating into savagery, Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies is one of the gems that will be watched by connoisseurs of the film for years to come, says the New York Mirror. Don't miss this widely acclaimed and shocking hit, Lord of the Flies.
It's 10 years older than me.
And it's still referenced to this day. Another like South Park did a parody of it.
It's one of the classics of classics because it shows how, like, you know, good little boys, you know, good little people, society can fall into this terrible, you know, what is it called? State of debauchery and sinful violence. You know, it's like, it's crazy because I'm going to, one of the animated movies, right? American animated movies is, what is it called? Where are you? My brain is not working. It is Animal Farm, right? Animal Farm.
Oh, they're gonna ruin that.
Yes. Well, I mean, they haven't done it yet, but like, I'm sure they're going to. But so this is the latest one here, right? But I want to watch the other trailer, the one from the 90s, which I grew up watching. And
oh no, I'm sorry. The one I was thinking of that South Park made fun of was it was a Stephen King story.
Oh, the new one.
No, it was. I think it was like it was his Children of the Corn that they made fun of.
All right.
Which is kind of based on Lord of the Flies, anyway.
Yeah. There's a couple of good movies like that. There's another one that came out. It's called The Children, if I remember right, where it's in France or something. So it was like a foreign language one.
Yeah.
So this is the 1990 trailer. Basically, it's like, you know, stranded on an island, a group of schoolboys degenerate into savagery. That's sort of its way. But the thing is how they start getting there, right? What makes them become savages? It's kind of like how Comicsgate started out as like with good intentions, and then now it's just a bunch of savages.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a bit loud on this end. I'm not sure, but let me play this.
Miles from civilization. No sign of rescue.
Doesn't matter who's in charge. We've just got to work together.
A plane goes down in the middle of the ocean. There's no wreckage. Who's gonna find us?
They will discover more than they ever imagined. More freedom than they have ever known.
Why isn't anybody getting food or wood? Man, you gotta stop worrying so much. We got it made. No parents, no teachers, no academy.
More power than they ever realized.
I'm gonna make another camp for hunters. You guys wanna have a little fun. We've gotta work together. We've gotta take care of ourselves. What's that supposed to mean? What it means, Colonel, is that if you know what's good for you, you'll stop trying to run everything. Come on, hunters!
More fear than they ever dreamed.
There's something loose on this island.
We did everything just the way grown-ups would have. Why didn't it work?
Lord of the Flies.
I'd say that's probably more brutal than the one from the 60s.
Yeah, because it's just, I guess in the 60s, you know, they were a bit more.
Yeah, there were certain things they couldn't do.
Yeah, and now with the idea of like making it a TV show with like what 8, 10 different episodes or something, 4 episodes, they're gonna really stretch it out, right? Oh, it's already out. No, it's not out. Why does it say it's May?
Well, May.
It says it's already out, but it's saying it's May. And look at it.
Yeah, they already got the. You have to wait to May to be able to access those.
Oh, okay. Is that how they do it? But like, look.
Sometimes, yeah.
Less than 7 out of 10. So I knew that they're really, you know, just go watch the 90s one, man. Like seriously, watch the 90s one and you'll be happy, because you know how like commies and socialist minded people, like leftists, always think that like, hey, if we all, everything was equal, everybody be happy, right? If everything was shared, everybody be happy. But you know, just watch Lord of the Flies and you find out that that's not how people work. Okay. Right? Everybody wants to be someone, and somebody always wants to take charge, and then someone's always going to find their assistant to help them, and then they're going to find the strong people to keep them propped up. That's why every communist government always fails, because it becomes the have and the have-nots, which takes me to the next American animated movie, Animal Farm, from 1954. So we're going back about another 20 years earlier, from the 1977. Now, this, have you ever seen this, Tim? Tim's sorting out something, so I'll ask him when he comes back. So now, this is how communism works, which is what really cracks me up. Is like people just don't understand how human society, our brains, no matter how we work, how we have the best intentions, usually we're always looking for someone needs to be in charge, because otherwise it all goes to crap. So this book by George Orwell, man, you got to read this, and alongside 1984, right? So the story here is a successful farmyard revolution by resident animals versus a farmer goes horribly wrong when the victor create a new tyranny amongst themselves. No king's mentality, right? But then they have to choose a king to lead them, always.
Here is a cartoon with a difference. The first full-length cartoon film to be made in England. Produced by the brilliant team of Hallis and Batchelor, it has been acclaimed by New York and London critics alike. It tells a compelling story for every adult. Yet it's assuredly a film that every child can enjoy. Come and visit Animal Farm, where all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Meet its quite extraordinary inhabitants, the wise and wishful old Major.
But remember, now and forever, all animals are equal.
Napoleon, a pig of a dictator. Squealer of the sly eye and lying tongue.
Long live Napoleon!
And Snowball, who is hounded out of his animal kingdom. You'll love Boxer, who works like a horse. His faithful friends, Benjamin the willing donkey. Muriel, who acts the goat. Then, of course, there's the drunken farmer, Jones, who gets his just desserts. And Whimper, who wangles and barters till it hurts. Remember then to visit Animal Farm. Make certain you watch Pig Brother just as he is watching you.
I don't know whether to laugh or to go, huh?
Animal Farm is one of those movies that makes you think.
It does, but it's, at the same time, I'm like, this is like how liberals think.
They do. All right, bow to the Pig Brother. All right, and then like everyone's equal, people. Everyone's equal, but then bow to the Pig Brother. You know, it's crazy, man. So the plot, right? It's like basically about a farm that's mismanaged by a drunken farmer, right? And so the beasts rise up. Oh, you know, our master, he's like terrible. So, you know, however, then they become their, then they have a beast amongst them who has to rule. So this movie, bro, was made for 350,000 back in 1954. That's pretty high, for a film back then. And hello, Les Matt. Welcome to the show.
Oh, is he here to? Oh, yes. Did you know his show was brought? He has these ads before you watch the show, and one was for a divorce lawyer.
I missed the last one.
Well,
do you want to elaborate?
I was kind of watching the show a little bit while you were talking, and you have to wait through a couple of ads first before you can hit skip, and one of them was for Idaho divorce lawyer. So his show was brought to everybody by a divorce lawyer. Is that kind of like is that like a hint? Is it hinting that he should divorce Lady Shadowban?
Don't say such things on the internet.
Is that what the internet is saying? I don't know.
He's warning you. He's warning me, and he's saying, "Why are you letting Tommy derail your show, Monkey? You're better than this." You know what? I gotta say something, Tim.
What?
I really gotta say something, right? I've been thinking about this. I was getting ready for the stream, and I was like, "Why are you out there fighting with Elesmet?"
Oh, because it's fun.
I mean, like, you're bringing him to our show where he's always complaining about you.
I know. Well, it's not my fault. He's a crybaby.
Yeah, see, even he's asking, well, yes, Tommy, why?
Look, It's a weird way of saying we accept you by making fun of you.
Oh, so you don't really hate him?
No. It's a weird kind of appreciation
What?
thing for me to mock.
Wait. You just roboted out there, man. You're like the cyber frog. Like you came back. It's like you didn't even. You said you're going to produce a comic, and then you took all the money, and then 6 years later, people are still waiting. That's
What?
how roboted you were.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully, I haven't gotten fat and have to wear diapers. That'd be horrible.
So what was it you were trying to say there?
I was saying it's a weird fan appreciation kind of thing, to openly mock him.
So back to Animal Farm, right?
All right. This
That's
might be
really
offensive to Elasmia because it has ducks in it.
Oh, that is true. There was a duck. Where is that duck?
Where is that duck?
Maybe that's why he showed up, because we're talking about ducks. I mean, we showed a duck, I should say.
Yeah, the duck brother.
Oh, there it is, the duck brother. No, that's the pig brother.
Bow to the duck brother.
There's a donkey brother. This is how all societies under communism becomes. You have one pig at the top who dictates how everybody else is. And you know who's the pig that I always think about when it comes to Comic-Gate? Who dictates everything else?
EVS?
Just put EVS on here, or Cyberfrog, right? Because this is basically EVS when it comes to indie comics. He's like, I will dictate, the rules of engagement in indie comics, and this is what you should do. Take people's money, promise them something, take people's money, and then 6 years later, don't even produce anything. And then, and not only that,
they're stupid enough to fall for it.
Yeah, and then also put out something else, and still don't give people what they wanted from 7 years ago. There are people still waiting for stuff from him that have already shown up on eBay by him,
right?
But they still haven't gotten their product.
Yep.
So where's this duck?
The duck brother.
Where's this duck? Look. So if you look at this is right. This here is EVS in his basement,
obviously,
right? And then of course this is
Squealer of the Sly Eye and
Shane Malin, right? And John Malin, because they're the same people, right? John and Shane, they're the same people.
Yeah.
Shane Malin, right?
They're
like him. They're like this dude here, like bow to the duck, to the dictator.
Squealer of the Sly Eye and Lying Tongue.
Long live Napoleon!
And Snowball, who is hounded out of his animal kingdom.
And that's basically, this is Mike S. Miller and all the people who've left CG, right? Hounded out of their kingdom that they built, Comicsgate, right? By Squealer, right? And this dude, that fat EVS, right? Sitting in his basement.
Equal. Napoleon.
Equal.
Dictator.
Yeah.
Squealer of the Sly Eye and Lying Tongue.
Long live Napoleon!
And Snowball, who is hounded out of his animal kingdom.
Yeah. All the poor former Comicsgate creators who've been hounded out of their kingdom that they built in Comicsgate by Squealer. All right.
Squealer of the Sly Eye and Lying Tongue.
Shane Davis and John Malin. So their dictator King Caesar, sitting on his fat throne,
I
EVS
still
and dictate.
cannot figure out why people don't see the humor in the fact that he calls himself Caesar, and for his intro, he chooses the Caesar that's like the one that marked the end of the beginning for Rome. Why doesn't anybody find that funny? Think about it.
Well, because I know some people take him too seriously because 25-year veteran, right?
Or is it 30? Who knows?
Well, he grifts on that whole I got cancelled yet. He was never cancelled.
No, he wasn't.
If you lie so many times to him, people start believing it. And that's what Comicsgate is. A bunch of liars repeating the same lie over and over again, and rewriting history to new people who come in and go, "Oh, I would like to be part of CG." It's like, well, yeah, if you burn churches, and and shit on Christianity and Christian creators, or black people who are doing business better than you, well, yeah, that's CG right now. Talking about pigs, right? Here's another. Here's the latest Lord of the Flies from Netflix. 4-part 1-hour series, a 4-hour show.
The sky is darkening, and the beast is close at hand.
Hello?
Were you all on the plane? We were. And now we're trying to find out exactly where we are. What nonsense.
Who's coming with me?
When you think about the little ones, can't care for themselves, Jack. Who are you, anyway?
If you stand out of the way, he'd happily hurt the next thing. And the next thing is me.
I am a hunter. You're a failure! We all have to kill the beast.
See, it kind of reminds me, like, Animal Farm is like Lord of the Flies, right?
Right.
It's like you got to watch both of them together. Like,
it sounds like they're. It looks like they're kind of drawing a lot of inspiration from the 1991.
Yeah. So relates the tale, or should say, relate. What do you mean, like relate? Should be like retells a tale of a group of British boys who become stuck on a tropical island that is unoccupied and who gradually slide into anarchy or into communism. Social conventions disappear and attempts to rule responsibly fail. Now, the last one for today. Where is it? The last. Let's go with Lord of the Rings. So the last movie for today, animated American movie for today is Lord of the Rings from 1978. I think this was the first time I myself, back in, gosh, it must have been like 1990s or late 80s that I saw it, that I engaged with first time I engaged with Lord of the Rings, because I knew nothing about it, never read it before. And I still haven't read the first 2 books. I've read the last.
I wonder if they'll ever have someone finish that one where he only wrote 13 pages and decided not to finish it.
Well, I think writing some unless he specifically gave instructions, outlines, there's no point trying to. Yeah.
He stopped writing he was going to do a sequel to it, to the Lord of the Rings, and it was about after the War of the Ring, but he stopped after 13 pages because he thought it was depressing. And I heard there's somebody related to him was going to finish it or something.
Right. Now, just like the first one we talked about, which was Wizard, this is also directed by Ralph Bakshi, and it's from a screenplay by Chris Conklin and Peter S. Beagle. It's only 2 hours long, right? 133 minutes, just over 2 hours long. This movie cost $4 million, so they had a bigger budget than any of the any of other Ralph Bakshi movies, but it made $32.6 million on box office release back in 1978, bro. So you had all those fans going out there, and also taking their kids, parents taking their kids and whatever, readers taking their kids to watch it. Dude, made so much money. I wonder how much has made ever since because of all the sales and all that. And I'll go find that out while we watch.
I
the trailer.
remember watching that. I think they showed that in like school when I was going like elementary or middle school.
Did you understand it? Because I never understood when I first watched it.
I think it was mostly. I thought they showed The Hobbit. They didn't show The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I think I watched this like when I was like 18 or 19. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Maybe it was The Hobbit. I don't know. Is this Lord of the Rings? I didn't understand it until the movies came out. What was all the gang? Because all the friggin' names and shit. It's like, how do you somebody has like 5 different names. It's like, what are we talking about here? Right. I had a friend who was huge into it, even like probably about 94. And he was telling me about it. I was like, I just couldn't grasp it until the Peter Jackson movies came out.
The ring is evil. It will corrupt and destroy anyone who wears it.
What will you do with the One Ring, Frodo?
The Lord of the Rings, J.R.R. Tolkien's acclaimed fantasy adventure, comes to life on Blu-ray and DVD.
We must send the ring to Mount Doom.
I will take the burden.
The ring started a war,
Our time is at hand.
created new enemies,
Where is it, Gandalf?
and united good
It
friends.
is time to gather together.
We're going with you, Frodo.
Now the journey of the ring has led here.
A new age is upon us.
Ralph Bakshi's animated epic rises to new heights on an all-new deluxe edition DVD, including a look at the groundbreaking techniques that made it a masterpiece of animation.
If we lose Frodo, we lose Middle-earth.
The war has begun.
It's too great a matter for me.
Give it to Smeagol.
One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all. And in the darkness bind them.
Buy The Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray Combo Pack. Includes Blu-ray and DVD.
Okay, so let's see. The overall profit since 1977, they reckon it was like roughly 7 to 8 times the return on the budget before home video, right? So they're saying the solid profit, 32.6, but earning modestly on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray for years, but precise home and video sales have not been published. Which is, I'm sure it's like in the hundreds of millions, right? At this point, because this thing is like so well known, and like you said, you saw it at school, right? So kids would have like seen it at school and stuff as well, and not even at school, but like parents would have bought it on DVD. I mean, not DVD, VHS back then, like in the 80s. But yeah, it's not giving me the actual VHS sales because you look at what happened with Lord of the Rings with the Peter Jackson movies, man, that's in the billions. But this sort of like hardcore animated movies for for mature people, and kids, now it's like all CG, right? Everything's now CG. There's no like real art to it, whereas like these were all hand drawn. Yeah, so they reckon, look at this. So originally VHS copies sold from $8 to $20 USD. So even if I reckon they're sold in the millions at least all around the world. So you're probably looking at about 20 million alone just on VHS sales. So when this came out, let's have a look at what the wiki is saying about it. I mean, the art, man, the art of the cover here, the poster, that is so cool. Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
No, you don't want it. There we go. It's such a. I wonder who's the artist on that. Who did the poster art? Hey, we'll find that out. But so everybody knows the story, right? But I want to look at reception. That's it. So, yeah, The Lord of the Rings was, of course, a success. Reports of the budget vary from $4 million to $8 million for the budget, and nearly as high as 12. But I mean, it's made $20 million on return, right? So grossed $30 million just in the US alone. And then UK 3.2, but I doubt, it's any less than that now. Like, must have made more than that, given the time it's been around. So critics have mixed responses to the film, but generally considered it flawed but inspired interpretation. It's like 5.5, but on there, but it's about 6.7. That's what I mean. I found it really hard to understand somehow because my brain at the time wasn't thinking, how what was that called? Like how it all comes together until Peter Jackson put it together as a trilogy. What's going on with this IMDb? Go back to The Lord of the Rings. Here we go. Now, that sort of brings us to so you look at, I was looking at this like, I'm sorry, I was on IMDb, and I'm looking at the difference between, the art, not the art, sorry, the production and creativeness behind, like, the animation stuff process, hand drawing those, and then you were able to hear with Peter Jackson able to make 3 movies at the same time because they created new technology in New Zealand with the internet for him to be able to do that, right? And otherwise it could not be possible. It's like when they made The Matrix, the idea of like the cameras, the ring camera type thing that was working, it was the first time they'd ever been able to actually mass produce that. And that's why, like, the whole slow motion thing, filming, where simultaneously you got like about 30, 40 cameras working at the same time. So, so it looks like that just someone's moving, in that wicked way, like you can dodge a bullet. Do you remember that? Like, did you see the clip of that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that movie.
Blew me away because I was just watching, the pinhole. I'm not sure what the hell it's called. Let me see. Camera Tech. If it'll bring it up. Oh goodness. Matrix. Was it like 98? Was it 1998?
Probably.
Yeah, 1999. So the Camera Tech technology there was pretty interesting because that blew my mind, because I was like, that's when I started getting into filmmaking.
Oh yeah.
All right. So check this out. And I think it was because I was at that time when I was doing that, I was doing stage productions and stuff. And so we were doing film, like short films, then we'd show at the church on the big screen, like 3-minute shorts or 5-minute shorts. We'd go out, act it, and then I would edit it, and then would show it, right? At our own cost. Like a lot of times we were just doing it ourselves because, for the hell of it, right? So this is the Matrix bullet scene, right? So check, and I'm sure like a lot of people haven't even bothered, to watch this because, we in this day and time and age, a lot of people don't want to learn about behind the scenes of stuff. But when you're, 20 years ago, 26 years ago, as a, in your 20s making, doing stage productions, or 30s, I think, you're thinking about how to make things better. And so I was always learning about like buying DVDs and whatever at that time with commentary, box set things. So check this out.
Bullet time is a stylistic way of showing that you're in a constructed reality, and that time and space are not the same as, here, us today living our lives. It's slowing down time to such an extent that you really see everything around you as clearly as you possibly could. Bullet time is something that was conceived for the Matrix specifically, but I think it's
Remember that was made specially for Matrix, and they used cameras, and what they were doing was that they had gotten to a point where they were able to get cameras the lenses really small, so they could actually film ants. Like you could actually film ants and go down freaking wormholes with these cameras, and they thought, well, why don't we use this technology and put it in a ring and have them all filming at the same time, right? And it just totally advanced filmmaking technology, right then and there, just with that thought. And so you got this bringing in like total CGI, and CGI wasn't even that big at that time. It was just coming in,
right?
And so Matrix was the first thing that did that to him. Man, it was crazy. How old were you? 99?
I had just graduated, so I was probably 18.
Did you see it at the cinema or?
I saw it when it came out on VHS, and I was paranoid after watching it. It was VHS or DVD. It was DVD.
Yeah.
But I remember kind of like, is everything around me real, or am I just? I was paranoid for about 10 seconds.
It does that to you, right? Like I can't remember if it was like on if I saw it at the cinema or if I saw it on DVD. But yeah. Gosh.
And now idiots think that we live in a simulation.
Right. We got no control over our own selves. This is why I think there's so many people acting up like trash, like going out in the middle of a freaking subway and dancing.
They think that again, that's that algorithm. They care more about being a star than they do about actually working for something. So that
I guess
other people.
I mean, I don't mind it if you do that. I just mean like just don't try to disrupt other people's lives by doing it, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people just want to get out there in the public and like throw groceries on the floor to make a video clip to go viral. It's like you realize somebody has to come clean up after you. You've disrupted somebody's day, and now you've made somebody's day. It's like scalpers, bro. Right? It's like scalpers sitting there waiting for the the shop attendant to refill the shelf, and they're sitting there waiting so they can buy everything before Joe Blow can go buy some for their kids or for themselves.
There are people that will set up something and they'll make sure everybody's out of the way before they do it, so they're not in everybody's way.
Yeah, that's a smart way, right? That's the proper way of doing it. When you do pranks like that, we've had prank TV for decades, right? And
they don't do it right. You can't like piss off people. They're gonna get your ass beat.
Yeah, and a lot of people are starting to respond to these sort of people with aggression. Right, which FAFO, right?
Right.
So let's carry on with this magic bullet time.
Byproduct
of the directors observing
let's go back a bit.
The directors observing the controls coming into place, and then they ask the right question at the right time. You always know that you're doing something that is groundbreaking. If someone asks something that you go, maybe, if we do some development and get the right minds working on it, and it takes some pretty heavy thinking to get it together. Everything begins with a simulation. All the computer simulation information is the basis of a timing sequence. Each camera has a specific moment in time to fire a frame of film. All that is taking into account the net effect, the total effect of the move. That is a camera coming up to speed, moving at a speed, and coming off a speed. In this particular rig, there are 120 cameras and 2 motion picture cameras.
this is what I was talking about, the cameras, like tons of them, bro. And they could only do this to them because that technology had just arrived, right?
Right.
That the cameras were small enough, bro. It was just small enough to make it work. Because apart from this, all you had was these cameras here, bro. This big, huge thing. And then by the time I went to film school, the cameras were about this big, right?
Right.
So so you had like a Sony DX something, whatever, I can't remember now, 1080p, and now you got 4K, right? In 20 years, it went from like 1080p as the biggest thing to 4K, and now it's even going to be more, right? But look at the amount of cameras they've got set up here just to capture that 360 degrees angle of those two guys moving that way. And the other thing I want to note here is that, you know how like he says, well, everything starts with this, right? And this is like when you do a comic book, I would call this oh gosh, what's that called? Outlining, right? You're outlining your comic page, right?
Right.
Okay, this character's going to go here. This character's going to go here on this panel, and then this, you're going to have like a full shot, wide shot, which this is, and then you're going to go to a two-person shot, which is this, right? And then you're going to go to a mid shot, which is about here. Then you got to go close up about here. So this is all pre-planning. They don't just go, okay, we'll just start shooting now. And I think a lot of people, when they do first time get into comics and they get an artist, oh, we'll just draw the page. No, you got to plan out the page. You know, you got to plan out your dialogue. You got to plan out what happens, where everything fits in. You got to get room for the dialogue and such. And a lot of people don't do thumbnails, right? There's basically a thumbnail in motion.
Oh, I have since sent me something on the messenger, and I look at it first.
Mm.
You know, but you know, you know me. I post every detail of the progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look at the setup for these cameras, man. Is that so cool or what? You turn this down a bit. Here we go.
In this particular rig, there are 120 cameras and 2 motion picture cameras set up. The rig that we've made can be configured into any shape that you want. The shapes are basically what we compose in our simulations. It can do S-curves, it can do arcs, it can do spirals, it can do anything you want. It's an erector set. The heights of the cameras, where they're pointing at, also from the same simulation. In the middle of that box right there is a motion control laser pointing system that takes an animation file and creates a point on the surface of that cube that tells us where to point the camera. The 2 motion picture cameras are going to be, in this particular shot, running, that's running at 150, that one's running at 120. There are other bullet times where the end camera is a photosonics camera, so we'll be running that at 360. I can choose at will any elapsed real-world time to photograph. That is, if I have a guy falling over, I can choose to capture the whole event in the time that it takes to go around the circle. I could choose to capture only a very brief moment. And that is how we determine what frame rate the cameras eventually wind up. I could shoot the same exact stunt several times over, creating a simulation of 100 frames per second, 500 frames a second, 2,000 frames a second, all with the same camera moving at the same speed and time. I can go forwards in motion with the camera and forwards in time with the event, but then I could also choose to stop the camera abruptly, start moving backwards against itself while the action continues to move forward. I can shoot the move coming from both sides at the same time, crisscrossing over and ending. I can shoot waves, you know, cycles of film that crisscross like waves over the middle. There is a very heavy digital heft to this capture. Not every frame that a camera captures is the only frames that will be seen. There's a a lot of a process we called interpolation, which is the creation of frames digitally that are the byproduct of real frames. That is, we analyze what real frames we have, and we can create new frames of moments in between the captured frames to make moves longer and or stretch them out or do time compression effects. There's a lot of work going on in the art form of interpolation, and it needs to be said because it's not what you see is what you get. It's all baby steps towards something much larger that won't be really commonplace for a few years, but there are people around the world that sort of scratching their heads about a new way to photograph things, and it'll be as revolutionary as when cameras came off sticks and went to a crane, when they came off of cranes and went to Steadicams. We're talking about cameras that are now broken from the subject matter, that are virtual. So that's the next phase. That's what computers have introduced into cinematography.
This guy, I can't remember his name, man, but he's the smartest man in that room because he just told you the future of the world, right? When it comes to film, everybody's going to go, oh, it was, the Wachowski brothers, as they were known. Now they're called the Wachowski sisters because they, they went through the whole whatever. But like this, I can't remember what his name is, but this dude could see the future and told you where it was going, because he goes, they'll become virtual, not even not even in a thing. Now it's all online, right? Like me and you, we're actually online, right? And I just asked, so it was the production, right, for Bullet Time. I think it's John Gator. Visuals. I think that was. Wait, hold on. Let me find out if that is John Gator. And it was 1997, so 2 years earlier, right? According to Grok, and I've got it here in front of me. And we're just going to finish off with this, guys. So breaking down the timeline, they say, because I said, when did the production start on Matrix 1997 start for the Bullet Time thing that we just watched, right? So the Matrix Bullet Time production started in March 1998. However, visual effects supervisor John Gator and the team at Mannix Visual Effects began serious work on the camera rig and technology a year earlier, dude, 97. They tested earlier versions and built the famous 120 still camera array plus motion cameras during late pre-production. So they got the go-ahead, got the money, now go build the sets. So these guys, dude, Manic and John Gator are the true pioneers of what we know as normal standard, bullet, 360 bullet movement, whatever they call it now, bullet time. But so it goes here, actual filming of the bullet time sequences, principal photography, that's when they actually start, the camera starts up and starts to record. For the entire film began in March 1998 in Australia. The iconic bullet time scenes, including the rooftop, and we just watched that with Neo, were shot during this period using the newly completed camera rig. Filming wrapped in August 1998, and then, of course, 99, they went to, promote and stuff. I wonder what was the profit from the Matrix 1999 film on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray and box office. Because I mean, for a movie that basically set the standard for what we know in technology now, It's got to, it's got to be crazy because I mean, the budget was 63 million for that movie, and of course we had the trilogy, and then they put that crappy last one out. So you're looking at about $400 million, right? Here we go. Domestic sales for worldwide gross was around about 460 to 473 million, 100 million, sorry, yeah. And then your international with domestically didn't do so well by the looks of it. Like people loved it overseas more than they lived in America, because America usually with American movies sells a lot, but by the time it came in, right, you're looking at millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, because I've got a copy of it. I've got a copy of all three trilogies, and I don't think I've got the Animatrix somewhere, but we discussed that last time.
Yeah, it really didn't. After the first one, I didn't really find it that interesting. I was like,
oh, was this the shorts? Oh, you mean the last one, or you talking about the Animatrix, the animated ones?
I'll tell you about the first one. The Animatrix looked kind of interesting, but I don't know. After the first one, like, okay,
well, the
that's
trilogy,
cool,
yeah, the trilogy itself, self-contained, is good, but when they try to go, here after now we're living in the, for a while, nobody wants that story. They're trying to milk.
You watch it, yeah, you watch it once, and then you I just don't have it. I never had the urge to watch it again.
Right. Okay, guys, that completes our little soiree into technology and animated movies over the early years.
Oh, yeah.
From America. We'll come back next Friday with the second part, but next week we are launching on Tuesday America and Wednesday New Zealand our campaign for our crowdfunder, right? Where is it? For Howler. If I can find the link here, I've got the other link up.
I thought you launched it already.
No, that was a pre-launch. We are launching because I had to get all the sums and totals and prices, and I don't want to put something out without having my eyes in. Yeah. I mean, like everything's because I had to get the final page, final cover for Howler done, which is done now, by the way. And so I wanted to make sure every little bit was done for this before we went to launch the campaign. So you got all the information out here, guys. Thank you if you've already signed up. Would really appreciate you if you would sign up. And the first 25 get a special. Is it on my screen? Do I have it on my screen? And also I had to change. So I had to change the size of the sticker because they couldn't do the size that I wanted the way I wanted it. So we're dropping it by a half an inch. So I'll show you here. So we went from like 3.5 and 4.5 to 3. So it still looks pretty cool. It's still big, actually, by the way. It's almost, you see those little 4-inch toys.
Yeah.
So it's like that. So is this the one? Oh yeah, here we go. So this is what you get. You get the first 25 to sign up receive a free add-on item that we'll just add on. For the first, as a special thing, you get a cardstock 6x9 inch cardstock art of the white werewolf, which appears in a bigger form as a foil comic book cover for Howler. But here you see it as on a card that you could, if you want, you can give it away, whatever, or you could just frame it on a wall because it's a card stock, so it's like nicer, heavier. So here's all the work that we're going to be released through that. So you can see all the 4 covers here for the tortoise, right? I just kind of made it different so you can see all the different things. But here's the last cover we were waiting for that is finished now. It's the spoiler cover, the monsters in the grave.
Cool.
And the forest. You've got all the stickers, all the cards, and then of course there's some bonus cards later for stretch goals, and there are stretch goals for and we're doing special packs, of course. Thank you, and that's it. We'll see you all on Tuesday next week. American time and Wednesday New Zealand time. I think it's about 2 o'clock in the US or something like. It's 2 o'clock in New Zealand at that time, so it might be about 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Once again, thank you so much, Tim. What's that, bud?
Thank you. I said it's 9:36 right now.
Yeah, so I think it's about an hour earlier than this. Yeah, so about 7 or 8 o'clock US time. So thank you so much, guys. Raptor is now. I'll give you the link. Actually, let me find the link for Raptor's. Where is it? Raptor's. Gosh,
He's on the tubes of you.
he's on Rumble. No, he's gone over to Rumble.
Oh yeah, he's gone over to Rumble now. Okay.
Yeah, he's still there until for another couple of days. So here, let me find the link, and then we'll go send you guys there. Well, if you want, if you're interested, but I mean,
of course, they should be. He's funny
and
as
here
hell.
it is. So this is, I think this is. All right.
It's gonna be glorious. Oh, sweet, sweet, glorious. Katie, let me make a proposal to you. How about this? I'll give you 1 week to leave the internet, leave CG for good. Miss Katie. Oh, sweet Jesus. What we have cooking up for you is something that people will remember for many generations. Your name is about to be run through the mud. Oh, so much that it might even be a household name.
All right, that's us for today, guys. Thank you so much. Link isn't there in the chat. There you go. Go over to Rumble. Check that out. We'll see you there.
Peace out, man.
Monkey King out. Tim out. And wherever you are, guys,
Peace.
Be well. Be safe. May your days be full of joy and your dreams be fulfilled. And Kakitano, catch you on the flip side.
Peace.
Bye for now. Now let me see if this outro stuff is working, because it didn't work for me before. I don't know what happened with.
It has to. Come on,
yeah.
internet. Come on, internet.
Well, let's see. StreamYard messed up on me with the intro.
Nope. Can't stay here anymore. I gotta get back. I think this was the spot. Oh Lord, I beseech thee, please return me to my old life. I swear I'll do anything. Like, literally anything. And I won't bother you again, so pretty please bring me back to life.